Today's going to be a little different. I'm going to do kind of an economic car rant, I guess. So it's kind of interesting, like after I bought my car, or my car parts, you know, because I bought like the side pipes and stuff like that, you know, and I kept track of them. And I kind of went and priced them out and redid the math on them, and roughly, I added it all up and took the average, and or the percentage. And just by purchasing the stuff within about, what, a year and a half ago, I've saved about, it's 27%, but, you know, point whatever percent, but pretty close to 28%, roughly, you know, just on the parts that I bought within a year. So, you know, that's kind of interesting, you know, to see. So, does that affect is that going to affect our car values, you know, our older car values, if parts are going up and they're getting harder to come by and whatnot? I don't know. It's quite interesting. You know, I don't think this car will go down in price. You know, I won't make my money back, of course, unless inflation goes really crazy. But so anyway, that's something there. It's getting weirder and weirder to find car parts. Like, I don't go to AutoZone anymore, and there's one reason why. The reason is because they pretty much have the self-checkout. I still gotta buff that little square off. I haven't got around to it. But anyway, they have self-checkout. And a lot of things, because I bought something and it wasn't self-checkout. It wouldn't self-checkout anyway. It just, the barcode wasn't correct or whatever. I don't know, whatever the reason was. Well, anyway, the person still had to come and help me. You know, the person that worked there. I don't understand this whole self-checkout at a parts store, because usually you want some type of customer service to help you there anyway. So I don't really go to AutoZone to begin with anyway, just because AutoZone has people that aren't really, they're not really car people, at least at my AutoZone that's next to me. They seem to just work there. They don't, like, I can bring in a part to O'Reilly, and we got some old guys there, and I can go, hey, I need a replacement of this, and they know what it is, and I can just look it up. You know, because I'm trying to test them. I take that into AutoZone, like, what is it? Whatever. You know, so, but it's interesting to see how much prices are going up, and labor especially. So, on my Subaru, now, here's the funny story. Like, I don't have a, or just the little computer you hook up to read the codes and do everything like that, and I'm not gonna spend the money to buy one, so because they're kind of spendy. Well, anyway, my module, my airbag module went out on it. I can get reprogrammable modules for about $350 to $400. Brand new one is about extra $100, you know, pretty close. But the labor, with everything said and done, is going to cost me $1,200 and some change, just for them to unplug and plug the new one in and then reprogram it, which is kind of funny. And also, as I had it in there to be diagnosed, they found my bushings on my control arm were going bad. They're all cracked, and that seems like it's a major problem with I don't know, with these Crosstreks. And it was funny because the old one, if I can't get underneath there right now, but so they're all cracked, and you can feel the rubber. It's already old, but I only got 44,000 miles on it. Now, granted, it's a 2016. You know, it's a daily driver. It's been a good car, great car. I can't complain. These are the only two major things that I've had, but it just seems like the bushings, you know, at under 45,000 miles, or 45,000 miles seems a little excessive. So, and it's funny because Online, these are, you know, about $25 to $40, depends on where you look. So, but to replace this and this, and of course the what is it called, the Pitman arm right here, that you know, so it's like 30 bucks. There's $60 right there, you know, and then I have to have them pressed in. So that's 60 bucks just on right here, and that's not including, you know, changing out the Pitman arm. Because if these rubbers are going bad, well, then this, you know, that's going to go bad eventually too. So it was funny, I found these, they're the TRQs, the torque, I guess, for a set of 2 of them, $112 shipped. How is it that just the individual bushings, buying them separate, are going to cost me more than buying the whole control arm that's already pressed in and ready to be installed? I don't understand. You know, it's just very strange. I don't know. The car market's getting very, very crazy. And yeah, so hopefully once I get that done, that car will go another 50,000 miles, and I won't have to worry about it. Because, you know, the honest truth is, you know, my daughter in 3 years, she'll be turning 16, and she can have that Subaru. It'll be good for her. It'll be probably 75,000 miles by the time I get done with it. And then hopefully at that time I'll have more money, and I can buy me, I want to buy a newer Corvette, you know, maybe C6 and above again, because I miss my C6, to tell you the truth, as a daily driver. And then I can have this one sit next to it. But like I said, priorities first. Got to get the family settled in first. So, and then so anyway, and then yeah, to do the control arms and everything. So I bought these for $112, and then still at the dealership, not me purchasing these, of course, they wanted another $1,200 in some change to change them. So I think that's just crazy. Luckily I can do this because I don't have a, you know, I don't need a computer like I do with the airbag module. But it's getting crazy. I mean, I don't know, labor is pretty expensive, and of course car prices are still pretty high too, and I just don't see them coming down that much more in value. The classics, I don't see coming down. I really don't. Not a whole lot. At least the Vettes, you know. Maybe some of the higher, I don't know. Camaros are really popular, like 69, you know, say those 67 through 69 Camaros. They command more money than the Vettes. So that's kind of funny to me. But you know, I see a lot more Camaros, but they're just more popular, I guess. They are good looking though. I'd take a Camaro. But yeah, it's just kind of funny, you know. But I sold, my very first car I owned was a 73 Ford Maverick. I fixed it up, made it all nice, you know, and as I drove it. I drove that thing for 14 years. I bought it for $1,000. Fixed it up, nothing wrong with it, looked brand new. Replaced everything on it as I drove it. And I sold it for, you know, just under $6,000. Because it, you know, it had the 302 and everything. It, you know, had popular options, but they just weren't in demand. Well, now the old Ford Mavericks, I can't find anything, you know, that's in really good shape for under $14,000, which is kind of crazy. And I sold my Maverick 10 years ago, so that's quite a jump in 10 years for a Maverick, you know. My 66 Chevelle, that was my dad's, they haven't really gone up in that much price, you know, price-wise too. They've jumped, but not like they probably should have, because, you know, that was a Super Sport worth of $396, and it, you know, I mean, they've gone up in value, but I don't know. Just every car is different. But I know the Subaru, it's held its value pretty well. I'm pretty surprised. It went down quite a bit. It got down to about $14,000 what it was worth, and then COVID hit, and of course the car prices went up, went crazy, and it went up to about $17,000, $18,000. I think I'm looking about, you know, 15, 16 now for that Subaru with those options and that mileage, which was kind of funny. And then I bought my girl, I bought her a 2018 Jaguar F-Pace, the turbo version, and yeah, I'll tell you, that's probably one of the nicest cars I've ever owned. It's definitely a nice driver, and I bought it for $37,000. It went up to about $42,000 at its height, and now it's finally coming back down to where people can, you know, afford them again. But yeah, it's back to almost where I bought it. But I've owned that car. Of course, I bought it used, but I've owned that car for 3-4 years now, and it hasn't lost its value. I mean, that's crazy. So it's just interesting to see. I noticed parts are, you know, part prices are going up. Battery prices are just insane. I remember when you could get a battery for $100, or even less. And now, you know, they're $200 to $300 depends on what type of battery you want. So we got some strange times ahead of us. But I think for the collector market, you know, these cars, they're going to hold their value for the older ones. Will they go up? I think so. I think people are going to see the value in these older cars, you know, as prices on newer cars become a little bit more expensive, and, you know, changing out parts and stuff like that. Older cars, yeah, they break down a little bit more and everything, but if you can buy a brand, or not a brand new car, if you can buy a newer, restored old car that has all the kinks worked out of it, you know, you're going to get a lot more value out of your car than a newer one. You know, at least it has some more value than whatever. So anyway, that's just my rant. You know, took it out for a little spin today, just to keep everything going, and, you know, got to drive these cars more often than people think. A lot of people, they just drive them to like a car show or, you know, whatever. And you really gotta drive them more often. I mean, if you had a cream puff, you know, I understand that's different if it only has like a couple thousand miles on it, you know, or a big block that's worth a ton, like a ZL1 or whatever. But get out and drive these cars, guys. You know, drive them a little more. What's the point of having them if you can't take them out and have fun? All right, well, like I said, just wanted to kind of give a little rant. And what do you guys think? Do you think values are going to go up? My personal opinion is C3s are undervalued myself. You know, about, I don't know. From what I see online and stuff, I still think they're about $5,000 to $10,000 undervalued. At least the early C3s. The later C3s, like the 81s and that, they're commanding some good money. You know, the ones that are all done and refreshed, they are commanding some money. So, you know, or maybe they're $5,000, you know, undervalued. But yeah, I mean, these cars are great. So this is my second C3. I had a 74 that had the 454, and that was a long time ago. That was almost 20 years ago. And you know, I kind of kicked myself for selling it, but that 454 was kept giving me problems left and right, and it had the automatic transmission. I wanted a convertible eventually, and so, and it was black too, but so of course I like the chrome bumper look too, so that's why I went with that. Well, anyway, yeah, what do you think of the C3 values? You know, they're kind of all over the map on what people are paying. So I've seen some really work in progress C3s, you know, go for 20 to 24,000, and that's fine if you're kind of like me, where you can work on it and do your own, you know, mechanic and stuff. You can save a lot of money there, because I had no problem buying this car, you know, for that type of price, because I had a lot of the options already that I wanted, like the, you know, the L88 hood, the fender flares in the back, you know, to have a body shop do the fender flares, you know, and getting a L88 hood put on, you know, the hoods are what, 800 bucks. You know, the fiberglass for the rear is about 300, 400 bucks, but to have somebody glass it in, you know, there's some major money there. And you know, so, and I had the manual, the convertible, had all the options. Yeah, it needed a lot of work, but a lot of the work I can do myself, so I've saved a ton of money. I was able to actually spend more money on parts than with labor. So the most expensive thing was, of course, the side pipe covers. They weren't cheap, but that's custom, and that's what I wanted. So, you know, and I think that's what makes my car stand out from all the other Corvettes out there. Kind of has that nice clean look. Some people like them, some people don't, but that's all right. But yeah, so the early C3s, you know, just for a nice driving car, I think should be, you know, almost $30,000. I mean, that's with where you won't have to change anything out immediately, because these cars always have problems. So, you know, if you could just get in and drive it and not worry about it for, you know, a couple of years, then I think you got a great deal. You know, maybe the mid C3s from, like, well, I would say 76 and 77, you know, they dropped a little bit because they didn't offer a convertible. So those prices probably dropped a little bit, you know, for value. Of course, then I think closer you get to the 1980 version, I think they kind of dip and then they kind of go back up a little bit until you hit about 80. But yeah. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. My dream car is a '67 Corvette, but yeah, those are a little out of my range to just pay cash for. Maybe one day, but I'm very happy with this car. So, all right, yeah, let me know what you guys think. You know, are these prices getting insane with car parts? You know, is the values of these cars, are they undervalued? You know, let me know. Thanks, guys.